Oh, what's up, Beta Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As a part of today's video, we're looking at Bitcoin, the macro markets, as well as Cardano. First things first, we've got Ohio State Senator introducing a brand new bill to allow for taxes to be paid directly using Bitcoin. We've also got some interesting commentary coming out about rate cuts for the month of November. And then moving over, we've got Binance officially becoming a sponsor for the 2024 Cardano Summit. And there's also going to be a fireside chat between a Binance representative and the head of the Cardano Foundation, Frederick Regard. Moving over, we've got Emurgo officially backing Iagon, a Cardano homegrown project here. And then we've also got a brand new custodian when it comes to USDA and how they'll be aiming to custody their funds for their upcoming stablecoin. Now, moving over, we have the official World Mobile Portal opening up earlier this morning. I'll provide more updates about that, followed by news updates about Metera, Mesh.js, JPG.store, Mynth, and Eternal. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to help you find your footing here within the Cardano ecosystem. I provide you guys here with the latest news, updates, tutorials, and reviews. And so if you appreciate content like that, make sure to smash that thumbs up on the way in. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave those down below. If you want to extend your support, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. As always, I appreciate your support, not only here on YouTube, but also through the stake pool. Jumping straight on into the macro markets here, we have an Ohio senator who's now introduced a bill to allow for taxes to be paid directly in Bitcoin in that particular state. So it states here in what could be a massive move for Bitcoin and crypto assets, Ohio Senator Niraj Antani has introduced a bill that would legalize Bitcoin as a payment option for state taxes and other fees. Now, before I get too bullish here, I know that there's been the introduction of bills like this in times past, and so this is still at an early stage. However, it's bullish, especially given the fact that there's now increased interest coming back into Bitcoin and altcoins. Moving over, we've got Fed Chair Raphael Bostic, who says that he's open to another 50 basis point interest rate cut in this coming November. We've heard from Jerome Powell that they are aiming to at least cut that 50 basis points between now and the end of the year, but we haven't gotten any official news about how that cut will actually be coming. Will it be a 25-25 or will it be a massive 50? Right now, it looks like there are some people that think that 50 basis point rate cut could be coming. And again, that would be adding even more fuel to Bitcoin and altcoins, as I believe we're getting ready to jump into the very last leg of the bull market. Looking at price action here, we do have a little bit of a pullback here. And so we saw Bitcoin recently testing the $66,000 range. We now have a minor rejection here, but we're still at around the middle of the range, taking a look at some of the lows at around 52,000 and some of the highs at about $70,000. And so one thing that's really interesting is even though we've had this minor pullback, relatively speaking, right, this is really shallow of a pullback, looking at the fact that we've been on this bull leg starting at around $53,000. Now, if you take a look at the RSI down here, the relative strength index, we can see that that was at a low, right? Presenting a really good buying opportunity down here. And that was when Bitcoin's at about $54,000. And we're now at $63,000. And look at that, the RSI has reset. So could this be another good dip buying opportunity? Again, not financial advice. You do with that as you wish. But right now, looking at the particular indicators here, it does look like right now is not too bad of a time to jump on in. Now, moving over, looking at Cardano specifically, coming in here from Unpopular L, he states Cardano is ready to go higher. Now, he highlights the fact that Binance is likely to list Cardano native tokens. Now, we haven't gotten any confirmation yet, but I mentioned earlier the fact that the Binance team will be sponsoring the Cardano Summit, and they'll actually be sitting down with Frederick Regard to have a conversation. Number two, we've got gold coming to Cardano through Kinka Gold, which is a partnership brought on by Emurgo. And then, of course, we've got Twin, and then most recently, Finest Investments, which is now bringing $150,000 worth of gold straight to Cardano. In addition, we've got Emurgo onboarding huge brands and also partnering up with Grassroots, which Iagon is one of those partners. I'll be breaking down that particular announcement in just a moment. And then last but definitely not least, we've got Charles Hoskinson meeting with the president, Javier Milei of Argentina. So really bullish news. That'll do it there for the macro markets. Next, let's talk about Binance, who's officially now sponsored the upcoming Cardano Summit. So it states here, join Binance's CEO. So I actually missed this earlier. This is extremely massive, not just a representative. the CEO of Binance, who I believe has just stepped in after CZ had to step down because of some of those regulatory issues, is now going to be attending a fireside with the Cardano Foundation CEO, Frederick Regard, labeled Building Resilient, High-Performing Organizations, a must for everybody to see in the blockchain industry. Now, I'll be there in person. I hope to see you guys there as well. Of course, I'll try to make sure to record and share as much breaking news from the event as possible. Now, just speculating here a little bit, we've seen the SNEC team really asking for Cardano native tokens to be listed on Binance. Binance has been adamant in not listing any. Even till this day, no single Cardano native token or asset has been listed on Binance. But could the tides be officially turning with the CEO showing up to speak to the Cardano community and then Binance going a step further and actually becoming a sponsor? I definitely think so. Now, we haven't had any official confirmation. Right now, it's fully speculation. But Binance could be supporting the ecosystem to see exactly how they too could benefit, right, from Cardano. Now, if you're not aware, I believe Binance currently operates, I want to say it's around 20 different Cardano stake pools to offer staking rewards to their customers. So they obviously have listed ADA, but they haven't listed any of the actual projects that are built on top of Cardano. But hopefully that changes soon. Now, if you're not aware, the actual summit takes place on October 23rd through the 24th in Dubai. And again, I'll be attending, providing you guys with as much coverage as possible. Next, we've got Emurgo backing a grassroots project that is Iagon. So it states here, Emurgo X Iagon official. We're happy to announce an MOU, or I believe that stands for Memorandum of Understanding, to drive Cardano ecosystem growth. Stay tuned and follow Emurgo for more updates. Now, jumping over, it looks like the team from Iagon was a little bit more willing to provide details about the actual MOU and what it stands for. And so it stated that they'll be providing the Iagon team, and when I say them, I'm referring to Emurgo, with X-based collaborations and promotion, product referrals, enterprise staking, which Iagon continues to use that word enterprise. So if you missed it, they've now brought over a cloud compute solution just for enterprises. And this just shows to me that they're willing to go further, not just talking to the average crypto holders, but looking at businesses, which can onboard thousands of people at once, as opposed to focusing on just individual people. So really interesting to see there as well. In addition, we've got liquidity strategies. This is probably the biggest and most important thing that I see here, where it mentions that they'll be exploring the addition of USDA. Next, they've got a co-marketing push and then help with startup exposure through Antler Global and the IBEX Launchpad or incubator. So that's been an announcement of its own. I released a fully dedicated video breaking down the fact that Emurgo is onboarding Antler Global and IBEX, and they basically have a long running history of being able to identify early stage startups, provide them with the liquidity that they need, right, in order to see them succeed, while also boosting and really bringing Cardano to the masses. Next, we've got a massive update here surrounding USDA. So it states here, Ansons is proud to announce that BitGo, an industry-leading qualified custodian catering to institutional clients, will now be providing custodial services for Cardano's USDA stablecoin. Now, it seems like with all of these recent announcements and the fact that there's now a little bit more regulatory clarity within the US, that Ansons stablecoin is right around the corner. If I'm not mistaken, it should be dropping before the end of the year. And again, I mentioned the fact that the Cardano Summit is coming up. So last time at the Cardano Summit, we saw Charles Hoskinson announcing the release of Midnight. And so could we see the release of USDA at the summit? I definitely think so. That would make a really good opportunity for them to sort of capitalize on the audience and the viewership tuned in person and online for the summit. Now, I want to break down a little bit about BitGo and exactly what this means. And so again, this article here basically reiterates everything that we know so far about BitGo. But jumping over to their official website, it states that they've collaborated with Bitstamp, Sui, Pantera, and 21 Shares. And if I'm not mistaken, 21 Shares actually has a ETF using Cardano or with Cardano holdings. So really positive and bullish news that we want to see here. In terms of their core services, they provide wallet services, prime services, which are basically services to liquidity and capital. So almost like market making and liquidity provisioning, as well as the ability to list, grow, and manage your own ecosystem. And then they also provide global settlement in real time. Now, jumping over to their About page, really interesting stuff that I want to break down here. So it states here, BitGo launched their trust back in 2018, which allows for them to custody funds. Again, that's what we're seeing them using with Ansons, providing fully regulated, qualified cold storage to complement BitGo's original hot wallet solution. In 2020, they launched BitGo Prime, which allows their clients to trade, borrow, and lend. Now, moreover, BitGo also provides access to DeFi, staking, NFTs, and wallets. And then on top of that, they're the sole custodian for wrapped BTC. So interesting news that I definitely was not aware of. Now, it states here that today, BitGo is a leader in digital asset security, custody, and liquidity, providing the operational backbone for more than 1,500 institutional clients in over 50 countries. And then now they're processing approximately 20% of all global Bitcoin transactions by volume. Now, I dove into this particular article here, breaking down that they're actually releasing their own stablecoin. And so it states here that they're also backed by Goldman Sachs. So again, this is really bullish here. These guys need no more credentials. They've obviously proven themselves being backed by some of the biggest TradFi companies. And so it states here that BitGo's USDS stablecoin will challenge major issuers like Circle and Tether, aiming to distribute up to 98% of their earnings to network supporters. If you're not aware, when you're purchasing and using something like USDT and USDC, all of the mint and burn fees, or just any of the fees associated with transacting those stablecoins, go back straight to the issuer. Now, this particular stablecoin aims to sort of break the cycle by actually rewarding the community that invest in the actual USDS stablecoin. So it states here that on September 18th, they officially introduced USDS, their brand new stablecoin aimed at rewarding network participants for engaging with their ecosystem and providing liquidity. So almost sort of like a yield farming opportunity, right, for a stablecoin. Now, this is scheduled to launch on January 25th, and this should be backed by a combination of short duration treasury bills, overnight repos, and cash, all being added into the mix. Now, they break down a little bit of exactly how the actual model works. And then on this next page here, I've got a breakdown or comparison of USDT, USDC, and their brand new proposed USDS. So, I mean, in terms of some of the benefits here, the biggest one is the protection from issuer debt obligations in the event of a bankruptcy. And so if I actually jump back over into this particular article here, it states here that Ansons is one of the first clients to use BitGo's Trust newest offering, allowing Ansons users access to segregated accounts, individual accounts separated from company funds, further protecting users' funds. So in the event that there's some sort of bankruptcy, it looks like those funds will not be accessible, right? Or they won't be eligible to be sold to get the trust out of their debt. And so again, really bullish news here. What we want to see in terms of growth and maturity when it comes to custodians for stablecoins. And so I'll let you guys read the last bit there, but I want to quickly end off on that note. Now, that said, if you're enjoying today's video, make sure to smash that thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. If you want to take your support a step further, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central Stake Pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Next, we've got updates around World Mobile. So the official WMTX portal is now live. I released a video sitting down with Clover Nodes as well as Rob from the Trek Stake Pool, highlighting the fact that this is officially here. So between now and the 21st of October, you're able to jump in there, migrate your WMT to WMTX, and you can either keep that on Cardano, ETH, BNB, or Base. They've also released an updated logo, which I've broken down in that video as well. Make sure to go ahead and check that out, and make sure to go ahead and follow the WMA or the World Mobile Alliance. Next, we've also got updates here for Airnode operators. So if you are an Airnode operator, whether you participated in batch number 1 or batch number 2, you should now be able to go ahead and claim your rewards, given the fact that we're just entering the end of the month. And so I've just released a video again, sitting down with Rob and Cal to break down the dashboard and how to actually claim these rewards, given the fact that Cal is an is an Airnode operator. He's also an Earth node operator too, but he currently holds 4 Airnodes. And so he's basically walked us through the platform, given us a sneak peek, and let us really see exactly what we can expect as Airnodes become more accessible and they really begin to take over the sharing economy. Next, we've got a nice little tease here talking about the fact that, again, These link nodes continue to go up. We're seeing a lot more growing within the ecosystem. I believe we're now at over 2,000 air nodes. And then I believe we're now expecting an additional batch to be dropping, covering the area of Pakistan. Moving over, we've got Christian Reese adding the fact that today's a momentous day online with the WMTX migration, but also in the real world, giving us a tease of what appears to be a potentially new type of hardware or new type of air node. Let me know what you guys think down below. Moving over, we've got some of the different pricing options here when we take a look at World Mobile compared to some of their competitors. Again, really showing the fact that they're outshining, right, the entire community or the entire set of competition, but also providing a new opportunity, right, for anybody who's joined their economy to also earn at the same exact time. So it's really important to note and highlight that there as well. Now, for anybody who isn't bullish enough on DePIN and the fact that we need decentralization, take a look at this. We've got a massive Verizon outage, which has now hit thousands of users all across the globe. We've seen over 100,000 Verizon customers reporting the fact that they've now lost service, or at least they did lose service early Monday. And this is exactly where a platform like World Mobile comes in, where you've got remote node operators all around the globe, making sure that the network never goes down. Operates very similarly to Cardano, where even if, thousands of nodes go down around one particular region or area, there should be enough redundancy and enough node operators to keep the network functioning. As we get ready to close out here, when it comes to World Mobile updates, we've got an official launch alert coming in from Aerodrome. We've seen massive appreciation of the WMTX token, given the fact that there's been new liquidity, new users that now have access to the WMTX token. So definitely keep an eye out here on Dapp Central. I'll have more content coming out about the base ecosystem, as well as Avalanche, ETH, and BNB, not just specific to World Mobile, but just as the channel grows and expands. Next, we've got a nice little piece here where I'll be sitting down and hosting a live stream, talking with the Metera team, bringing indexes or tokenized portfolios to Cardano, in addition to Yarick, who's the founder of Axo Trade, one of the first order book dexes to launch here on the Cardano ecosystem. So we'll be discussing the Metera TGE as well as their ISPO. And if you did delegate to the Dapp Central Stake pool while their ISPO was going on, you will be eligible to actually claim some of those ISPO rewards. So make sure to go ahead and tune in for that particular live stream. Jumping over to the next tab here, we've got a nice little piece of news here for all of the tech heads out there, all the developers. And so this is coming in from Jingles Code, one of the members from the Mesh.js team, highlighting a brand new set of Mesh.js Hydra tools. Now, there's no official date as to when they'll be coming online. It just says that they're coming soon, but it's used in order to make it easier for developers to adopt the Hydra head protocol. And if you're not aware about Hydra and what it does, it's a layer 2 scaling solution for Cardano. So in closing, it says here that this includes all the endpoints needed for administering and interacting with Hydra heads themselves. Now, when it comes to Mesh.js, this isn't the only thing that they've been working on. They've also been working on brand new tooling to quickly and seamlessly integrate governance related features. For example, like the ability to delegate to a DREP, to register as a DREP, to deregister, or even update your DREP information. So this team continues to really knock it out the park, hopefully bridging the gap between developers and end users that want to contribute to development that may not necessarily have all of the tech background or all of the skills available to go ahead and do so. Jumping over to the next tab, we've got a pretty simple update coming in here from the JPG.store team, highlighting the fact that they're now targeting October 8th for the launch of Rocket, their simple platform to launch a token here on Cardano fairly and securely. Moving over, a nice little tidbit coming in from the Mynth team stating coming soon, EVM wallets controlled by your Cardano wallet. What's interesting is that we've seen EVM wallets that can control a Cardano wallet through NuFi's Snap integration. And then more recently, El Raulito breaking down some of the features of Plutus V3 that allow for a Bitcoin wallet to interact or to control a Cardano wallet. But we haven't seen the opposite, using a Cardano wallet to interact or to control an EVM wallet. So it states that you can already send MyUSD to any centralized exchange. And with their upcoming upgrade, you'll be able to send USDC and USDT from any centralized exchange directly to your Cardano wallet. Now, obviously, USDT and USDC are not native to Cardano, so I'm wondering how they'll be able to do that. And I'm hoping to hopefully be able to get some of the team members from Mynth to discuss this as we get more details. Now, as we get ready to close out here, shout out to Pyro from the USDM team for bringing this to my attention. We've got a PSA for the Eternal wallet users. in the fact that some of their features rely on external services or third parties. And the Flint wallet has officially sunsetted, and they were actually providing external services for the Eternal wallet. So it states here that for Milkomeda, I believe it's a sidechain or layer 2, those transactions used to rely on an API provided by the Flint wallet team. Unfortunately, now that they've now sunsetted and shut down, Eternal can no longer send to the Milkomeda ecosystem. So that will do it here for today's update, breaking down quite a bit here going on in the macro markets, as well as the Cardano ecosystem. With Binance coming on board with the summit, we've got Emurgo stepping up and showing support for the ecosystem. We've got World Mobile launching WMTX, Metera, Mesh.js, JPG.store, and so much more. If you found any portion of today's video to be helpful, if you learned anything along the way, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.